to the PT Performance Podcast Evolution. This is episode 31. I'm your host, Chris Mooney, and today I've got my guest, Mark Howlett. Mark's joining us on the call tonight and recently escaped the dirty southern states and made his way to Queensland and to the Gold Coast where we cross paths. And Mark's got a pretty distinguished and seasoned background in the industry as a personal trainer and as an educator. So, Mark, why don't you jump on and let people know a bit about you, mate?
All right. G'day, everyone. Well, basically, I actually started out, as we've been talking previously, I actually started out not in the industry. I was doing air conditioning, electrical, and I did that for around 6 or 7 years, and then jumped basically into the fitness part of it just out of curiosity more so, and people giving me advice because I was already somewhat helping everybody at the gym. And then someone advised me, hey, you'd be probably really good at doing PT. So they got me in touch with Australian Institute of Fitness, signed up, did the, I believe it was a 3-month course, doing it 3 days a week.
Master trainer.
Master trainer. Well, that's exactly what I got.
Executive master trainer.
Got the master trainer.
Master trainer.
Yeah, that's it. Got the master trainer award out of Parramatta. Top of the class and everything. It was actually a little bit of a shock, but apparently what the coaches there said was they didn't or what they caught on to was I was taking everyone to the park an hour before our actual teaching session to train everyone at the park beforehand. Nice. And they couldn't believe it was like the only person that actually started to do that. So master trainer award right there. And then from there, it was a direct pathway into good old Fitness First and and started kicking off the career from Campbelltown down to Wollongong up to Miranda, and then from there started doing managing work. So PT manager, fitness manager around Bankstown Fitness First, and then Rockdale Fitness First. I spent doing the managerial work for probably around 4 to 5 years, and still doing PT on the side, still running an online coaching sort of platform as well. And then after that, lengthened out of that way and started getting into a little bit more of the group fitness sort of stuff. So the F45 started booming around that time. It was a lot, let's say, easier to kind of run the ship with that one there, just making sure that all the cogs worked. The system setup is very, very simple. But what I found with all that is all the trainers there were basically just cheerleaders.
Yeah, so, that's my line.
Yeah.
I was going to say, when you're saying making sure the cogs work and the systems, I was going to say, and you have your pom-poms.
That's it. The pom-poms are out, mate. And then everyone's doing their high kicks and whatnot. But I wanted to make sure that I was the person that kind of shifted and changed that dynamic and really started to hone in and develop majority of the coaches that came through in front of me. And then at the back end of that, I was still helping mentor and coach some of the up and coming PTs that I'd previously worked with at other gyms as well. And now they are leading the charge and they're starting to become PT managers and club managers of Fitness First and other gyms like that as well. So it's been quite a roller coaster.
Good. And the best part about that, and this is why you and I've connected and the kind of content and things we've been talking about and looking into is the ongoing development of PTs, right? Like, and it's like sports too, right? Not every good football player is a good coach, and not every coach is a good football player, but there are people that can do the two.
Yes,
you know, there are some people out there that are passionate equally about both sides and are able to execute on that. For those passionate about the sport, Billy Slater's a great example of that.
Yeah, 100%. Was that like a little knife in the?
That was a little Origin time. It's that time of year up here, June 23rd. So yeah, we're about to kick off the second Origin game this weekend. So yeah, I thought I'd throw that in there.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. Well, my wife's a Queenslander by heart, so it was a good bit of banter during that game. So we'll let that one slide for now.
But no, that's really cool, man. So you decided, you know, you took a bit of initiative and you've seen and gone, okay, well, the systems are regardless of the kind of coaching and the kind of facility that it is, you can't argue that F45 is not effective as a business. I mean, it's growing globally, which is fantastic. It's got more people exercising that eventually go looking at hypertrophy and strength and power. So it's a great cog in the fitness industry wheel. It doesn't mean that it's the be all and end all. And for some PTs, I feel it's not a bad launching pad if you're not sure where you want to go with it at this stage, but you know you're not ready to go face-to-face PT yet.
Yeah, 100% agree with you on that. I always look at it this way, like if you look at it from a PT standpoint, if you're not used to coaching or training multiple people at one time and being able to pick up on little technique issues that people have got, it's a good way to kind of keep you on board with it, but you've got to know what you're looking for as well. Well, that's what I feel anyway. If you don't know what you're looking for, you are best just standing on the sideline with your cheerleaders, your pom-poms and whatnot.
Five more.
Yeah, that's it. And just giving more reps or adding more weight. So, and that just leads to obviously injury, which then will lead to that client or that member of yours being off for 3 months and your revenue going down. So there's always a backstory to like what you've got to do to try and like develop that person up individually to be able to recognize certain points that they need to look out for in a bigger group, but then also being able to hone it in, because, hey, if we're looking at normal personal training, you can easily charge $20, $25 a head to do a group training session, but you're only going to get and only going to be charged as much as you can do for the quality of service that you're giving. And if you're giving 100% quality of service, everyone's going to want to work with you.
Yeah,
it's not going to be I'll just do this for a couple of days and then bugger off because it's a CrossFit workout we did the other day.
Yep.
So
you made a really good point there. Like let's give our listeners a bit of credit, because I know they are people that are invested in creating something significant. They want a career in the industry. They want to build something special. So of course, there are people in our industry that would look at something like that as an easy way to make $30 a session, just clapping and cheering from the sideline. If we've got any of those listeners, hopefully it's because they know that's not the way to go and they want to improve. But considering that I know that most of ours are the other side of things, which are, chasing that high achievement, chasing high performance, let's talk in that regard. In that you look at, a place like an F45 or with EMF, we run the small team training where the PTs get a fair bit of creative license and coaching ability in those sessions. You really can look at it and go, right, well, I've got a decent session here. We're going to do X amount of reps and sets, or here's the circuit, or here's the format we're going to do. And they'll get a good workout for it. They'll get a sweat on, maybe a bit of muscle fatigue, and they'll leave to go to work or home and feel fantastic. And you can get away with that by being a good, motivator.
Yes.
But if your ambition is to build a PT business and be known as a professional and be known as an expert and really get people from those classes, which might be their low barrier, that might be their way of testing the gym out or testing themselves out to whether they can commit to something. If you're a good PT in that environment, you can utilize that to spot, okay, I love training. My background obviously was powerlifting and sports performance, right? Back in the day, I only looked at group fitness as important or useful in a football team training session, but I couldn't apply that in the gym, the first gym I was at, because it was very commercial. It was very Les Mills. So I was like, man, I'm not even doing it. It's not of interest to me. But looking back, the skills you can hone and the reach and exposure you have to such a large group of people, that would have been beneficial also. So you run your session and then you find the members participating and find ways to either help, whether that's a vocal or physical, like a hands-on motivational technique, or whether it's say, hey dude, I notice you're struggling to get depth in that squat. Stick to where you're going for the rest of the session, because that's fine. You're still getting the work done, but let's come see me afterwards. I'm going to show you a couple little key things. Great. That way it doesn't mess up the speed or the mood
and everything.
And then obviously you watch that person. If it's injury prone or at risk, of course, that's your jump in and do something mode. But
definitely, I
think it's a great skill, because if you can do that on the fly to tempo with music and noise and all the rest of it, that person's probably going to look at you and go, wow, I actually learned something on the fly. What if I sat with this individual uninterrupted? We had a good conversation. I worked through some of my sticking points. They showed me some skills and some ability that they have, and we put that together, and I'm going to be better next week and the week after alone, to a point where they might even consider coming on board as an actual one-to-one coach, right?
Exactly. I feel that goes hand in hand with you basically, do you want to call it peacocking or whatever it is, but you're basically showing off your talents. Like if everybody,
peacocking is when you've got not much to show for it, man. Showcasing your talents is great. Showcasing your talents is better. Yeah.
So basically showcasing that with 10 people, and those 10 people, that it's not just those 10 people that are watching you, everybody that's walking past is watching you.
Yep.
Like most people don't realize that if you're in an outdoor group setting or anything, there's people that are walking past through the entranceway, through, like, they're probably going around your session to get to where they're usually going and seeing what's happening, and they can hear what you're saying and they can see what you're doing. Every single time there's people watching you. You don't think it is, but people are. And they're going to pick up on those little things, those helping points, those sticking points that you're attending to people with it, and they're going to say, you know what, that person sounds like they know what they're doing. I'm going to talk to that person.
Yeah, or at least they'll join the class, and then the class is the segue for the next part. And
exactly.
And like I bang on to our guys with regards to their social media content, it applies in this scenario too. Is that no one really cares who you're training.
Yep.
They care how you train.
Yep.
They want to see how you lead and how you motivate and how you guide. They want to see how you're communicating and how you're moving. They want to see all that sort of stuff. So yeah, you could look at F45 as the cheerleaders, because unfortunately there's some that have made it that way.
Yep.
But the opportunity in that situation is quite great, right? Quite ridiculous.
I always say to my coaches, like, look at this as where do you want to go from this section here? Like, what do you want to do from here? If it's you want to, like you said before, make your $30 and then go off to your other job, or if you want to make a career out of this, like we discussed earlier, and just use this as a building tool to add to your arsenal for when you go into either a bigger commercial gym or start looking at your own kind of setup or whatnot, because it's just going to benefit you either way. It's not like you're just going to come out of your training, get straight into the gym and only stick to one type of training, because you're only just narrowing yourself down to your clientele.
Yeah.
You want to try and expand as much as possible. So if that means training 4 or 5 people at a time, like, that's fantastic. And then being able to get those cue points, being able to get pick up on those, people doing it the wrong way and being able to cue them the right way and all that, it's all going to benefit you in a great deal. So, take it as, I'm learning this for now, and in this scenario, I'm going to get this much information, but my end goal is going to be here. And I go, fantastic. Now, this is the steps I want you to work through to get you to here. If that's where you really want to go, then start following these steps here, and I'll start guiding you in that direction. Yeah. And then you can just see leaps and bounds. The people that really want it will really get it. Yeah. The people that will sit and fart ass around and they just won't do anything with it. And then a year later, you go, why are you still here? Yeah. If this is where you wanted to be, why are you still here? You obviously didn't want it that bad. And then you find out later on they're doing 2 other jobs.
Yeah. So, yeah. Well, hopefully if those kind of people are listening to this, these are the kind of episodes that switch them onto a track. And if they're not, that's probably why. So,
but it's good though, because it's either going to promote a little bit of agitation within them because they know that it's happening within themselves.
Yeah.
So face it yourself, have yourself a little bit of a reality check and go, shit, that's me.
Yeah.
Or turn around and go, okay, well, I know that was me, and I'm making moves to do the different, like to change myself.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
it's empowering and motivating in itself, right?
Exactly. So it all comes down to yourself. Like, there's only so much you can push a person, then it's not going to want to do it. Lead a horse to water, So.
Yep. And I know that's obviously comes quite across quite clearly your passion for educating and helping, assisting PTs. Why do you think what made that a big part of what you're about?
I think I got a little bit sick and tired of it only being one way. When everyone was saying, this is the only way that you can do a squat, this is the only way you can do it, like whatever it may be, this is the only way. And it's only that person's one perception of how to do it. But they didn't look at, okay, so training for powerlifting is going to be completely different to training to basketball.
Yeah.
Right. So, your knees need to come out, your knees need to stay straight, your knees can't buckle in. It's like, hey, movement works in all different ways. Your body is meant for movement. It's not meant for this one directional sort of training. So it depends. You train. I always say to them, you train for what you're training for. What are you training for? I just want to get fit. Okay, well, what's the purpose of you getting fit? And then just asking those questions. People don't want to take the time to ask or even answer the bloody questions. So you're almost stuck at a stalemate of, yeah, okay, I can keep training you, and I'll keep training you for a year. I'll keep training for 2 years, and you still look exactly the same. So I got sick and tired of seeing that and not promoting the want or need for further development, because everyone's comfortable just getting their $50 a week from everybody and kind of coasting along. So it's like I said before, if you really want it, you're gonna chase it, and you're gonna want to promote development and growth. If you're not growing, you're dying. So it became a really, really deep passion for me, where everyone kind of went, oh, okay, well, I've learned more in the last hour than I did through my whole ARPT session. And it's those moments that I sit there and go, shit, what are we teaching you? Or what are they teaching you? So if you've learned
I've had a couple of conversations on that before, and I think it'd be amazing if the Cert 3 and Cert 4 could be completely overhauled at a government accredited level, right? That would be fantastic. I don't see it happening in the near future, but that just means that there's a massive gap out there. And this is what I do, and why you and I are talking about, and what you've done in the past is there is a gap, and I do feel that there's more opportunities now for personal trainers to leave their Cert 4, and instead of going enrolling in a ball games boot camp course or I know they've got better CECs now than back in the day, but when I was doing it was a Swiss ball module, you know what I mean, or a jump rope module, or basically the same ball games you'd play in the off term at school when there was no school sports, tunnel ball and shit.
Tunnel ball, yeah.
Tunnel ball and bowerbird for fitness, and I've been training for a good solid 5 to 6 years with legitimate coaching above me, and I'm like, I'm not wasting my time or money on that. Now there's better ones, but at the same time as there being better resources now, and again, I don't believe in the CEC format, so there's even better resources out there available online and all the rest of it, but you still got people out there offering a social media course with enough CECs to give you 2 years up front. And I was like, oh, yeah, but they're not even doing this stuff yet. You're not even making money in the industry continuously and successfully, and there you are looking for next course and next upgrade and next this and this. So I think there's a big gap that needs filling, and that's why, again, while we're talking and why we do these calls, is for people to see that most of the development you can be doing first is in here, and then you can figure out who you are and how you tick and what's important to you, and then you can add your tools to that, right?
I always feel that the two main parts of especially becoming a good trainer or a good coach is communication and confidence.
Yes.
A lot of people I feel a lot of people are very scared to say what they think, and because they're worried about being wrong. And I'll put my hand up. Some of the shit that I used to tell some of my clients back in the day, I look at it now and just go, what the hell was I thinking? But that was what I knew back then. So I worked with what I knew.
And everything changes. So not changes, but gets better.
It does get better. You can even ring that person up a year later and go, hey, by the way, it's not this, it's that. That was a big mistake. I wasn't sure if you've been telling people this, but like further research has shown blah, blah, blah. Everything's always changing. You can always change, develop and grow. So there's no point sitting there going, it's got to be this one way. Be confident in what you're saying and put your passion behind it, and then communicate that. Give as much detail as the person wants or needs. And leaving with, oh, cool. So you didn't just train me. I actually learned something too, and I feel confident with myself when I leave you and I go and do a program by myself, or I come back to the gym. I know, hey, I know exactly what I need to look for, or feel what I need to do when I'm doing my squat. I need to, make sure I'm doing this when I do my deadlift. And then if you have someone else come up and say, hey, where did you learn that from? Oh, I learned this. Oh, well, you should probably try this because of X, Y, and Z. Oh, take it on board. Like, don't sit there and say, oh,
make a good point. And I think I've seen PTs do this. I was fortunate that I had it sort of installed in me early in my career that this was not the way to go. But a lot of PTs don't share too much information with their client. They like to feel like they're the secret holder, so that the client has to keep coming back. And I that kind of stuff frustrates me. Like, I hate repeating myself over and over and over to the same individual. I don't mind doing it to multiple individuals, but the same story all the time. So I got told early, just teach them everything that you need for them to know to do it by themselves and get a result, but make it so that they want to come with you because you get them a better result, or they enjoy this session and whatever. So I used to teach to a level, so then they could basically write their own programs if that's what they needed, if they were away on holidays or for whatever reason they wanted to step away from the training sessions. I taught them how to write their own programs and work through them, update them, a little bit of a progressive a progression chain as well. But and then the best part about that is once they get good at that, then you get to upgrade and you can coach them with more advanced cool shit. And they understand that, then you can take it to another level, and then you're having really a lot of fun, and they're not just turning up and you're not just winging it. And you mentioned something before, and the regular listeners to this and the guys from EMF and my 51 Fit guys will probably be able to repeat this back to you. But I always say, in order to be successful in anything, first you have to be confident, but you can't be confident, you have to earn it. So the formula goes, you first have to develop discipline. So discipline is doing the things you least want to do at the time you least want to do them, knowing you're going to get the best result, right? So it's the things you're going to do over and over and over and over, uncomfortable things to get really good at it, right? When you've developed that discipline in that particular task, then you've earned the confidence. right? You've done it 1,000 times. Someone asks you a question on it, you deliver with confidence because you know inside out that that's what it is.
That's what it is.
Then when you deliver things with confidence, you start succeeding. So if you're walking the gym floor and you know that every time you have this conversation and you cover these 3 questions with this kind of tone and this kind of energy, it's more likely to result in a booking.
Yeah.
Right. When you do this booking a certain way, you're more likely to result in a new client. I'll jump to the consultation stage, but you get the idea, right? So that way, you know that you walk out on that gym floor, you're having this conversation, that level of confidence you bring is resonated and absorbed, I guess, by the client and the people around you. And they're more likely to go, yeah, I do want to work with this individual. I do want to find out what he's got to say. So that success comes from there, right? Same as programming, same as lifting, same as everything. So the develop discipline to earn that confidence to achieve that success.
100%, with a dash of arrogance, I reckon.
Yeah, well, yeah, I love that you say that, man. Because that's the next step is when you get really fucking good at something, really good, and you start succeeding on it, there's nothing wrong with sprinkling some ego on top.
Yep.
Okay, and that takes you from really good to great. And you look at some people, anyone listening to this, look at the best PT you know, whether it's someone you know in person, in the flesh, maybe a colleague or someone you've trained with or under or around, or even if it's just someone you follow online that's legit. You know what I mean? You'll see the difference between good to great is they are that confident, not out of arrogance, not out of cockiness, but out of like, I know I'm fucking good at this and that's why I'm excelling at it. It's a different level of ego on top, like a professional athlete that executes at the high, like if you're into the American football, Tom Brady.
Yep.
Dude's confident. Dude's got a bit of ego, but everyone knows it's built on discipline. It's built on results. So you got Michael Jordan. There's another one.
Oh, definitely. You almost get like this little smirk in your face when someone goes, "Oh, you're real cocky, aren't you?" And you go, "It's because I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I know what I'm doing." Yeah,
something you've drilled on.
And when you want to work with someone that like is this confident in what they're doing, it's not ego. It's I know what I'm bringing to the table. Like this is what I'm bringing to the table. Do you want to do the work? Yes or no?
Yeah, and I think being in Australia as well, there's still I'd like to say it's getting lesser, but I don't think it is. I just think because less people are pushing the limits. But basically, you know, they used to call it tall poppy syndrome. If you succeed too much, the people around you will go, hey, you know, pull your head in, you know, come back down here a little bit. And we all used to be conscious of that. I was too, for a time being, not on the football field, funny enough, but I figured out eventually that they're the same thing. But I guess it's one of those things, right? You can sit there and mock and talk shit and tell me I'm a cocky or egotistical or whatever. But here's the thing. The only people that will ever say that are people that have not achieved and or are not trying to achieve something greater than where they are.
Yep.
You know,
they almost see something within you that they kind of wish that they had.
Well, they know they've had it. They know they've chosen not to pursue it.
Yeah.
So for people listening or watching this one is that don't mistake it. If you've done nothing, and you're not putting in the work to do something, then you can't really cock around and be arrogant and all the rest of it, because that's not a good look. And we do see that a bit in our industry. The fake it till you make it is what that is. Versus, no, here's my plan, here's my vision. I know it's going to take this amount of time, but I'm going to grind, I'm going to grind, I'm going to grind. So every time I hit a new level, I can upgrade my confidence, I can upgrade my skill set, I'm going to upgrade my results out of that. And then, then you can start to go, you know, I'm pretty fucking good at what I do. Example.
Yeah. It's almost like for the first few years, take on board as much as you can, absorb as much as you can, be as humble as fuck, and you know, absorb, develop, grow, look at different perspectives, and then from there, you like you said, you'll hit that point where you just go, fuck, I am good. Like I do have it. So yeah.
And you know what the key is there? As soon as you get to that stage, you're like, fuck yeah, I am good. That guy's even better. Then you go on it again. You know what I mean? Then you're just grinding at a new level and you're learning at a new level and you're absorbing and you're trialing and you're going at another level, like we just talked about with the client before. You know, and every level you unlock, you find another level above you that was unimaginable before you hit the level previously.
I think what people forget is that that there is no end point. That everyone kind of thinks, oh, when I get here, I can relax. It's like, well, no, you can like have a breather, but then there's the rest of it to go. Like you finish this mountain, there's a bigger mountain to climb, you know, and it depends on the levels of success that you want, but there's always different, you know, shelves and stuff like that, levels that you can get to. So I've gotten to the point where I've done my management, my development, my mentoring, my coaching, and now I want to don't know, give back, but I want to be able to see the fitness industry grow, and that demographic of people just start to grow together. Like it's the whole thing of I can coach one person and give this much information to one person, or I can coach 20 people or teach 20 people who are then going to go ahead and coach those to other 20 people. And it's like a big ripple effect.
There we go.
Yeah, right. And I'd like to see that more so than just that one person. That one person is going to get a great friggin' bit of information, education session, but I'd rather do the 10 or the 20 and develop them, you know, body and mind sort of thing, and get them to expand their mind. So
yeah, and you know, we might have had this chat as well before, and essentially that's why I got out of the actual PT and into the PT coaching, because I was watching PTs who were good coaches who had a lot to offer. You know, they could get really good results for their clients, and they built better clients mentally, and they had great rapport building skills, and every session was amazing and left that person feeling on fire and amazing. But then they couldn't make it work for whatever reason. Maybe they didn't have the business skills. Maybe they felt sort of stagnant because they couldn't get everything that they had out into the world, into their community. So they would dip out of the industry, and then you'd say, okay, well, they might have you know, influenced 15 people, 20 people this year, and they're all 20 people better off. But man, that guy had potential, or girl had potential for hundreds if he or she could survive 5, 10, 15 years, or expand out with different tools and services and products. So the deal is now like, okay, well, we want these PTs to succeed long into this industry. We want people to be here for more than 12 months. The initial part of this podcast series was get through that first 12 months, right? So then we can have conversations with them now. Okay, you made it through 12 months. Here's a quick high five. There's a quick tuna and rice, or whatever it is you guys like to eat. Or plant-based tuna and rice. And then it's like, right, you're good. 24-hour rule, 24 hours, celebrate, high fives. Yep, good. Bang, we're back onto it. But now you're level 2. Yeah. Level 2 means you don't stop doing your level 1 shit. You keep doing the level 1 shit. And now we add level 2 on top of that.
Add the layers.
You've got more layers, right? And then you start to realize which of the two, level 2 and level 1, can actually be part of the same deal. And that brings you back to better time management. And on you go from there. And then another 12 months in, now you should be exceeding or at least holding comfortably that magic 6-figure PT salary, you know.
We're still having 4 hours at the beach, right?
Yeah, with the Mac open and a couple of over-the-shoulder selfies and stuff. But listen, it's a legitimate place to be. And once you've hit those levels, then you start thinking, okay, well, I've got a good business and I know what I'm doing, but what do I want to be known for? What do I want to really niche down to? I've got thousands of hours with hundreds of different individuals. I like this type. I enjoyed that. I didn't really like that. Now we can start talking about where to specialize. And, you know, some at this stage, man, maybe a couple of years in, you might start writing content. Yep. You know, you might be doing blogging or vlogging for fitness industry articles or nutrition or training things. You can start really expanding because people start to know, oh man, this person's been around for a few years. He's got hundreds of success stories and thousands of hours of practical application. Now you can start sharing and putting more stuff out there. Yeah,
definitely. I think the place that I would say all the kind of new PTs that are coming into the industry as well are in a fucking fantastic position, apart from what like yourself and myself I probably would have experienced coming into fitness first, like young pup sort of thing, and being like, cool, you paid your $2,000, you know, entry, whatnot. There you go, walk the gym floor, and if leads come in, I'll give you one.
And your resources, and this is real for those, you know, we're showing age. This is real. As a PT, when you finished your Cert 4, when we were doing it, the resources you had to go back on were the workbooks you did to get through your Cert 4, or you could go to a library and start trying to find the library that maybe had something other than anatomy and physiology, right? Or you could grab an old Tony Robbins or someone's business model and try to make it work for PT, right? Now, most people know more about I won't say about training and coaching and all the rest of it, but they know more about the industry, and they 1,000 times more have access literally in the palm of their hand to the kind of resources you and I would have dreamed of having access to for free back when we started. So part of what, Pinky, I wouldn't call it frustrating, but part of what is really challenging for me as a PT manager and a coach and mentor is when I hear the excuses and when I hear PTs struggling, and they're struggling because of I'm going to just be blunt and say it's laziness, right?
100%.
Some will call it procrastination or anxiety and blah, blah, blah. It's like the reason why you feel that way and you paint yourself into a corner and just sit there and freak out that nothing's working is because you know the answer's right fucking there.
Yep.
It's right there. And that's what paralyzes a lot of PTs is the information, the answers, the path is right fucking there. But they're too busy feeding their addiction for dopamine on social media or this negative self loop of I can't get out of this mess. I can't do this. It's like, yeah, you can just fucking listen, set a plan like you tell your client and step your way out of it. Yeah.
Yep. And it all links in as well. Exactly what you said about social media. Like you'll have PTs, and even some of the PTs that I'm still mentoring and coaching today will look and just go, I can't explain this the way that he explains it. And I'm like, because you're not fucking him.
Good. Exactly.
Like, you're not that person. Like you have to do it yourself. Like fair enough, then you might love the exercise and it might work wonders for yourself and whatnot. And if you do want to give it to your clients, fantastic. We all grab a little bit of here, Arnold press. Yeah, fucking everyone does that sort of stuff. So it's like, cool. So how do you want to present this? How are you going to explain this? What details are you going to give your client? Don't start comparing yourself to other people because you're not them and you're never going to be them. Right. So it once again, it's like you said, it's a self-doubt sort of thing. It's that laziness within themselves thinking, I don't have the confidence to do it. Like I know what the workouts are and I know how to do them, but I just can't do it because it's not you. It's I think it's like a false you. What is that word called? Intruder syndrome.
Yeah, imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome. There you go. So
I tell guys this, right? And this is a little, I'm trying to find some props because I'm feeling proppy at the moment. I'll use my hands. So it's a form of fear, right? They fear failure. They feel rejection. They feel having to look someone and go, oh, I tried BT and it didn't work for me. So there's this fear that holds them back, right? And I've used this to a few of my PTs and they've responded back that it made a lot of sense. So I'm going to share it. If this is a wall of fire, I'm holding up my hand for those that are on the Spotify. If this is a wall of fire and it's literally standing in front of you, in front of your path, and you can't go past it, right? That's how most people treating this fear. It's like, it's right in front of me. I'm frozen in my tracks. I can't go anywhere because this big, scary thing is right in front of me and I can't go forward. I said, think of it like this way. Fear is fear. It doesn't matter what it is, right? You're going to react. We're either going to stand and fight or we're going to run, right? So right now, if you stand and fight, you're going to burn. If you run, you're going to go in the wrong direction. So what if we just imagine that fear is behind you and it's actually chasing you, right? So instead of that wall of fire being in front of you and you can't get past it, what if it's a great big fucking bushfire chasing from behind? Are you going to stop? You're going to keep moving forward, right? So the idea is to take that fear and take it away from being in front of you and put it behind you and just don't stop. Even if you're moving forward a little bit at a time, you're talking to one more person, you're having another go. And back to your point about the way that someone else did the video, 4 or 5 years ago, maybe even longer now, shit, it's probably about 6 years ago when I started doing little clips and stuff on Instagram, I was more worried about saying something that someone else would think I copied from someone else.
Yeah.
But it was a very common topic, right? So I just started recording them and dropping them anyway. I was like, oh, well, record, post, don't think twice about it. You know, what it come down to though, what really sort of sold it for me is there's some really famous speakers out there with great content and great value that you could learn a lot from and coaches online. And some of them, I can't fucking stand their voice. Like there's probably some people listening to this that can't stand my voice, right? So my point, the thing that went off in my head was, even if I am saying a similar thing and teaching a similar lesson, there's probably people out there that like the sound of how I'm saying it or the way that I present it, but don't like the way that person presented it. And that's who I'm now decided, well, that's who I'm speaking for.
It's going to resonate with them.
If someone wants me to sound like, I use him because some of his content I find funny, James Smith, the English guy, right? Then they're going to resonate with his shit anyway, and they're going to go and listen to his stuff anyway. If they're listening to my stuff consistently, then they know what I'm about and they know my tone and they like it. So give them that, you know, give them who you are and build it and they'll come kind of deal.
That's it. I had that one of the conversations with one of my life coaching clients who's in a band, and one of his major fears is getting up on stage. He's not even the lead singer. Is like, no one's going to like my music. And I'm like, mate, have you heard the shit that's out there lately? One person will definitely like your freaking music. Yeah. So don't fear it. Like you're always going to have people that are like, like you said, don't like his voice, don't like his look, like just something about him just makes me want to punch him in the face. And you're like, cool, then that's not for you. Fuck off.
Yeah.
You got someone else's shit then, you know, but someone is going to love the way that you're going into detail. They're going to like the way that you've taken the time to explain it to them in detail. They're going to love the confidence that you exude when you're explaining it to them. They're going to resonate with you. And it's going to be you that does that, not the fact that you're giving the information. It's how you're presenting the information, and it's you yourself that's doing it. If they want someone else, they'll go there. If they want you,
so much easier. Yeah, 100%, dude. And it's so much easier to continue to create that content because it's authentically you. Exactly. It's who you are, right? I think it was Jim Carrey said, the reason there's such a rise in anxiety and depression is because everybody's trying to pretend to be someone that their inner soul knows they are not.
100%.
So they're all trying to wear a mask of, again, if we keep it relevant to our industry, oh yeah, I know everything about nutrition. I know everything about training. So I'm only going to give that kind of content. I'm going to keep my wheelhouse tight. I'm going to keep my questions tight. I'm only going to ask certain things to get certain things back so that I look really good at what I do. But then they park that, or they post it, and then they're like, oh fuck, I don't even know about this. I don't know about this. And this internal battle versus, and I've told PTs, I stole this from Gary Vaynerchuk, is document, don't create. Don't try to be something you're not. Just show people who you are. Most people want to come along for the journey. Most people want to support someone who's in a development mode or a growth mode, you know. And if you're saying, hey, you know what, like a lot of my PTs are just starting out, right? So I'll say to them, a good place to have for your team, your clients, is a central group, whether it's a Facebook group or a WhatsApp group, just somewhere where you can take the edge off everything and build a community.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'll give this as a task to almost all my coaching clients in their first week. Okay, you want to have, you've got to have a social media presence. You're going to have a group messaging, whether that's WhatsApp or one of these other Slack or whatever, or even just as easy as Facebook, right? And you're going to need this. Yeah. You could probably use some an app to deliver your socials through. So here's some homework. Go do that. And they'll come back with everything marked off, and then it'll be a couple of weeks in. I said, let's have a look at your group. What's going on there? Oh, no, it's not. I haven't done anything in there. Well, why not? Well, I've only got 2 clients. It'd be a bit weird having a Facebook group with just me and 2 clients. I said, bro, have it if there's just you and one.
Yeah.
And have fun with it. Hey, guess what? It's me and you again. So you get 100% of the content today, and it's me and you. We're going to have a bit of fun. And then other people jump in, and then they scroll down to see what's going on in the group, and they see a live conversation between you and the one client, even if it's a few days or a few weeks, doesn't matter. They see content. And if you're delivering it with purpose and intent, it's going to be fun, interesting content to read, and they're going to learn some shit at the same time, and then they'll catch up to where the crowd is.
The amount of people or the amount of coaches that I've sat down with, especially the coaches from F45, and their woe is me story is, sometimes there's only just one person that comes to the class, and I'm like, mate, that is your time to shine.
Yeah.
If that's a PT session right there. You know, you get to give them 110% of your attention. And if you're looking at just using F45 as a stepping stone to get into personal training, take that opportunity and like absolutely present yourself as like 100%. And then from there, guess what? That one person is going to tell everybody else when they come in, oh, I was hoping no one would show up because I wanted a PT session again because it was fucking epic. You know,
and that's happened. It's the way you explained it, you know it's happened. Yeah. And also the other thing is, at the end of that one-on-one session, you go, how good was that? Listen, I'd love to do these all the time, but that's not what we're about. So tell your friends, tell them to come be a part of this, man, and we'll have fun together.
You promote growth that way. And it's I think that's one thing that I do have to give to when I very first started at Fitness First, is that did basically force me that if I want to put food on the table, like that was, I left, my, 85,000 K job doing aircon electrical to absolutely nothing and building a business. So I was like, and I had a kid on the way too. So it was like, I need to knuckle down and I need to make this fucking work.
Yeah.
So I was out there, and it didn't matter who the person was. I was talking to them. I was helping them put their weights away. I was giving them pointers. That's just me.
Yeah.
I'll go up and talk to everyone and anyone. I can understand that little bit of fear behind it, but the worst that's going to happen is they're going to be like, I'm all good, thanks.
Yeah. And I've had the guys, again, this is another thing I say, a bit like when I used to bounce, there's a risk, right? Now, this going back a while, I use this story because I was bouncing at the same time I started PTing for the first time. So you walk in the gym floor, what's the worst someone's going to say to you when you interrupt their workout? Hey, no, I'm all good, thanks, man. Nah, sweet, thank you. Yeah, no, all good. Although these days they'll just look at their phone, right? So it's not like you're at risk of getting a glass thrown in your face.
You're punching.
Like, what have you got to fear?
Yeah.
You've got someone on there in the middle of their workout who you're going to go offer a valuable tip, suggestion, assistance, or just a friendly ear to have a chat to.
Yeah.
There's no loss in that. There's no loss in that. The deal is that PTs go out there expecting that every conversation needs to result in a 12-pack.
Yeah. And the unfortunate thing is that not many people know, but I do a lot of mystery shopping, and it's just my own. I just want to see who's out there. I want to see what's happening in the industry. So I'll go to EMF, or I'll go to Snap, or I'll go to some of the other clubs and whatnot, and I'll just go around there at peak time and just like get a feel for what everyone's kind of doing.
Yeah.
And the amount of times I've sat there and watched like just normal members on the gym floor doing stuff that's crazy and PTs walk up, have a little bit of a glance at them, and then just shuffle off. And I'm thinking, all it takes is hey, where did you learn how to do that? Oh, cool. Can I show you a different way? It might target these muscles a little bit more if that's what you're trying to do. Show them. They're either going to say, "Nah, I'm good," or they're going to be like, "Oh, yeah, no one's actually come to help me." 9 times out of 10, that person wants to know how to do it properly because it's only going to benefit them. And even if they don't get that, I say to them, look, the worst that's going to happen is you're going to find another way that you can do this.
Yeah.
And it's going to benefit you. That's it.
And PTs that look at that and go, yeah, but that person's not going to pay, and that person's not going to pay, and that person's not going to pay. First of all, if you're out walking the gym floor trying to figure out who's going to pay and who's not going to pay, that means you don't have sessions. If you don't have sessions, there's a reason you don't have sessions. You know, maybe being too picky, maybe being too judgy, right? Just go out there and give assistance. Just go and help a fucker out on the gym floor and get them better rep, stronger workout, better recovery, just something. Offer them something. The way I bang on about it with our guys is let them think after that interaction, whatever it is, make them go, I'm so fucking glad I chose this facility.
Yep.
For whatever reason, like, is it the class? Is it the options that they have at the facilities, at the location? Yeah, it could be. But how about going, man, you know what I love about this place? The PTs here actually engage with you when you're not doing a one-on-one session.
Yep.
In my years of managing gyms and dealing with interviews with members and such, when I dig deep and said, hey, if there's one thing you could really change about this place, what would it be? A lot of the times it was, man, I would wish the PTs would engage with the members a little bit more. We know they've got sessions to do, and we know they get paid to do their sessions, but a simple greeting, a little spot here and there, maybe a bit of advice. So not just walking around with blinkers on their head or in hardcore sales mode.
Yeah, looking around for that dollar symbol above the person's head.
Yeah, look, that comes, man, as you know, that comes, and it comes freely.
Yeah.
When you approach this shit with a service-orientated abundance mindset. Yeah. The more I serve people, the more opportunities are going to present themselves to. The 100%. More opportunities that present themselves, the more money is coming my way as a result. The more money I've got, the more comfortable I can be in my role. The more comfortable I am in my role, the better I can be at it. The better I'm at it, the happier I am. The happier I am, the more opportunities I attract, and around and around and around it goes. And I'm saying it so passionately because I fucking wish someone taught me this.
Same.
No, I was grinding and going in circles and doing it all the hard way. And I wish someone just would have said, oi, take a deep breath.
Yeah.
Get that whiteboard out and do this pattern.
Yep.
And if you stay in that pattern and execute on those things day after day after day after day, you won't need to be printing brochures and handing them out in Queen Street Mall. You won't need to be walking around Kangaroo Point giving it to people who are fucking fitter than I was. You're not going to be kicking homeless dudes off your doorstep in the morning. None of this shit. So I get really passionate about it, and I have a bit of fun with it because I'm like, man, and then we've got PTs that struggle now, and they're really just literally sitting at home on their phone waiting for someone to go, wow, you look really awesome when you train. How far will $1,500 get me? And I've got 10 friends. We all want to pay the same and receive the exact same workout and mediocre effort on your part. You know, like, bro.
You can either sit there and count your bills, or you can actually put something back into it. But I think PTs miss some PTs miss the impact that a simple hello and what are you guys training today?
You know what? On top of that, remember their name.
Oh, yes.
I've told heaps of my PTs, notepad, little pocket notepads you used to have, right? Used to keep one in the back pocket. When I was a kid, my old man would always have one. I always make fun of it. Like, oh, What do you take notes for? Like,
Bible. Yeah.
What are you doing? You know, and it was always something important, like get something from the shops, yada yada, right? But anyway, I found myself doing it one day, and I pissed myself laughing the whole way in the car back from the little newsagent back to the gym when I'm looking at his little notepad in my hand, going, "Fuck."
I became
But that little notepad, I would walk the floor with confidence because I wasn't trying to close shit. I was trying to make engagements. I was trying to make connections. And I would go, right, Mark, dark grey shirt. We talked about lat pull. It's Tuesday, 4 p.m. I'd duck around the corner, just out of sight, and I'd quickly jot down bullet point notes. Mark, grey shirt, Tuesday, 4 p.m., lat pull down. Bang. And then I put it back in my pocket, walk the floor.
Yeah.
But then what am I doing next Tuesday about 4 p.m. if I haven't got a session on at that time?
Straight back to him.
I'm looking for you.
Yeah.
Look at it's almost 4 o'clock on a Tuesday. I wonder if Mark's around. Hey, dude, how'd you go on that lat pull exercise I showed you? What have you trained this week? Are you doing back again today? All right. You want to do that again? I'll watch you do it for a couple of sets, and then I've got something new to show you.
Yeah.
It's gonna piggyback on what I showed you last week. How's that?
Compliment it, yeah.
Like, let's do it. Okay, let's go. And then you look at, like people are watching you, you're having a bit of fun, and you go, awesome, dude. Now I've made such a good connection with you. Yeah. Even if you don't ever PT with me, if someone asks you, what are the PTs like here?
Straight there.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If someone's in the gym floor on the cross trainer, checking out the PTs do their thing, and they see an interaction like that, and they're thinking, man, one day I should hit up a PT, who are they more likely to go to?
Yeah.
Or they're going to ask you, hey, what's he like as a PT? And there's just no downside. There's no loss in doing.
There's no loss at all. No loss at all. Even when I moved from Wollongong up to the Shire areas to start PTing out of there, I said to myself, look, the first month, I'm in there from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock. And all I was doing the exact same thing, but I was going around helping people put equipment away, cleaning up. The place was an absolute bomb. Like no one put their equipment away. I think Rockdale was actually worse, but you get the point. No one put their equipment away. So I was just helping people put equipment away and just talking about their workouts. So then I got to learn who the powerlifters were, who the bros were, who were doing kickbacks every second day, whatnot. And then just going up there and doing the exact same thing. Hey, I saw you doing this. You should try doing this. Oh, what is that? I've never done that before. Oh, let me show you. And this is what it's going to target. And this is what it's going to benefit. If that's what you want to do, is that what you want to do? And then you get into that conversation. And then next thing you know, how much is a PT session? Oh, look, let's just go for a free session first and let's hone in on something that you really want to target. And then if you really enjoy it, then we'll talk.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there's a few ways to do it, man. I used to carry around, this is okay. Now resistant bands are cool and everyone knows about them now, right? But take it back to like early 2000s. So I'd have a little resistant band and a 2.5 kilo or 5 kilo, depends on the crowd in the gym at the time. And if they were benching or squatting or something, I'd just go, hey, let me try something. Put the band around one side, put the little weight plate on there and go back to doing what you're doing. It's just little things like that. They go, well, what does that do? And you explain the process and how it can be beneficial. And then, that would say, oh, while we're having a break, take the band off here, do these little pull aparts. And, you're just showing little things, man. And they're going to sit there and go, oh, fuck, that was pretty cool. I wouldn't have ever thought about that. And again, you're upgrading your status as a coach, as a trainer. So then, if you're charging a premium amount of money, when you drop that price and they've learned things that there's no one else they would have learned that from already for free, and you drop your premium price, they're going to be like, okay, well, this guy's offering something bigger and better than most. That's why he's charging more. Yeah. Then you got to deliver on that. Obviously, a lot of people get the sales part right, but they don't do the delivery too right.
They start sitting there and going, "Oh shit, I made this sale. I've done it. And I've actually got to do something with it." And then that's when they get in the panic mode, and it ends up looking like shit. But all your processes.
And for anyone that's found themselves in that, maybe get a bit excited in the moment, maybe overselling the service or overselling your ability. If that leads to a yes, man, don't freak out about it. If you've oversold it, okay, there's levels. Clear. If you've oversold the shit out of it, you should fess up straight away and go, okay, man, maybe I exaggerated. Can we wind it back a little bit? Okay. But if you just oversold a bit, but you do have that ability and you do know that stuff, maybe you haven't worked on it for a little while, maybe it's something you haven't used often. Okay, good old, how do you eat an elephant? It's like one bite at a time, right? So it's like, right, I am confident that I can deliver a great session. I do have the skills, the knowledge, and the experience to get that person the results we spoke about. Okay, cool. Happy with that, can do that. Let's not freak out about that component. But that element I spoke about, the benefit of resistant band training in high performance athletes,
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm going to have to spend a bit of time over the next day or two to really just freshen up on what I do know about that. And then you can say to them, listen, we talked about some resistant band stuff. We're going to start off with some lower level resistant band for some warm up routine. And, you give yourself that opportunity to build that confidence in delivering what may have just previously been theoretical knowledge into practical knowledge.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. You're not even faking it till you make it. Then you're actually just going back and doing the work. And like you said, you're refreshing it all. And there's nothing wrong with doing it at all, because if you straight out started doing Olympic lifting 8 years ago, there's different techniques like coming in now. Like, it's funny that only a year ago I learned a different way that I can start working my catches when I'm doing my cleans. And then when I started putting that into practice, I went, oh shit, I can definitely get my cleans up a lot heavier now. Like, because I started implementing this one part that wasn't taught to me back in the day.
Yeah.
So it's always
if you've built success on that confidence, on that discipline, you have that pathway.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, for me to get really good at something, I've got to do it enough times that I'm confident in it. What was that number? Okay, well, last time I had to do X amount of reps, or X amount of clients, or X amount of phone calls till I got really comfortable. All right, now I know what I need to do. You've got a method, you've got a system. So go back. Okay, it used to take me, let's say, I'm just hypothetical here, right? I used to be scared walking the gym floor. Once I'd spoken to 50 people in a 2-week period, I was no longer scared of walking the gym floor. So I know I needed 50 interactions with humans to feel comfortable interacting with strangers.
Yeah.
What do I need to do to get confident at this new skill or this old skill that I'm trying to brush up on?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Like I don't want to take out my textbook on the gym floor. So I'm going to ask my partner, and I'm going to ask my friend, and I'm going to get my training buddy. I'm going to say, can we just run this today?
Yeah.
Let me know how it sounds. Does it make sense? Can I, sometimes you understand shit way better than you can coach it.
Yeah.
So you have to keep coaching it until you understand it better.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
My brother's one of those people that I always said that he's one of the smartest dumb guys I know, or one of the dumbest smart guys I know, where he was so book savvy, but then just couldn't use these to execute what he needed to actually do. So if it was changing brakes on the car, he knew how to do it and he could tell me how to do it, but he just couldn't physically do it himself. So then I'm the other way. Oh, it used to be the other way around, where I saw it and I was like, okay. And then I do it with my hands, but then explaining it used to be very hard for me to do.
Yeah, just watch me.
Yeah. So then I started implementing, especially doing all that, especially doing teaching for ARPT and AIF. When I was doing all that, was show them, tell them, and do it.
Yeah.
So you're covering all 3 bases as well, and then show them different ways that you can do it, and
this
different
is how
ways
it looks.
Yeah.
This is why we do it. These are the steps to go through. Now you show me how you do it.
Yeah, exactly right. And then if you forget that, hey, go back and brush up on it, and just once again, like you said, just remember those steps and start working through that execution to build your confidence back up again. Yeah. And it doesn't take that much to do it. It's, once again, like you said, it's just pure laziness, where people just go, oh, like I did that before, and yeah, no, I think I can get it. It's like, mate, if you're delivering a premium service, don't think you can get it. Fucking nail it. And nail it with 100% confidence, and that's gonna, expand and show more execution on the gym floor, wherever you are, to everybody else around you as well. Because once again, everyone's looking, everyone's watching.
Everyone's watching. And I don't want people to listen to that and go like, everyone's watching. Like, fuck, everyone's watching me. It's like, no, time to shine.
Yeah, it's it.
Time to shine. Like, I keep using old analogies and stories and bullshit and whatever, but it's like, did you not turn up and practice all off season, go to the gym, run, get fit, to turn up on game day and go, oh, people are watching us play. Oh my God, who are those people sitting up there in the stand? It's like, no.
Yeah.
Like, and people say, yeah, but I'm an introvert. Yeah, you can be an introvert and still be fucking great at what you do, and let people, well, you don't even have to let them. They're watching you anyways, right? So it's going to happen. If you're that much of an introvert that you can't have anyone watching you, reality check, it's not the game for you.
Yeah, exactly right. I always say to all the people that I'm coaching and whatnot is, if you're going to fail fast, right? And reword that word failure in your head to growth and development. Because if you fuck up and you fail, you're either going to learn for it or you're going to continue doing it. And if you continue doing it, you really need a reality check to yourself and say, hey, I keep doing this. I'm doing the same thing, but getting the same result. I think that's called insanity, isn't it?
Yeah. The difference between failure and learning, I believe, is 2 steps. The 24-hour rule that I mentioned earlier. Okay. And again, you probably don't need 24 hours if it's a minor failure, but it's a processing period.
Yeah.
Right? damn, I fucked that up. Okay, the fuck ups happened. Can't really change it. Deal with it for a moment. Okay, now the second step is reflect on it.
Yep.
Okay, why did that fuck up? Was it hubris? Did I fly too close to the sun and get burnt there, or did I just not build a strong enough platform or process or system in the place? Did I get it wrong because I have not practiced it enough and I got actually the result that I should have? Or did I let some other self-doubt creep in because I know that I haven't been putting in the hard yards to get really good at this thing? Like, whatever it is, reflect on it. And that's what takes something from a fuck up or an error into a learning and progression opportunity.
100%. 100%. So promote that failure if you want to. It's going to happen. Like, you're not going to be perfect at everything. First off, you're going to say the wrong thing, you're going to do the wrong thing. So accept the fact that it's bound to happen, and accept the fact that not everyone's going to agree with you. Be confident with yourself, and know that there's always, like, the next step from it. There's always that next development, next step of development, next step of growth, right? And like, be able to be okay with yourself in having those moments as well. Like you said, sit with it, let it go, learn from the experience, and just keep freaking going forward.
Mate, we used to cheer for them.
Yeah.
Right now, this is different to people who don't put in the work and they just keep fucking up day after day after day. That's not what this is for these people. But when you practice, execute, and you still get a fuck up, at some point you're like, fuck, thank God, now it's done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if you haven't had that mistake, and you know that 9.5 times out of 10, everyone makes that exact same mistake, it's gonna be there.
Yeah.
Oh man, I've had 3 months of wins back to back. Man, there's going to be that one day where I fuck it up and mess it up, right? Hey, we haven't lost a game all season. Damn it, we had that loss. You know what? That's what we needed. It's a good way to set us back to where we need to be, whatever the case may be. But you celebrate the losses that you have that are expected of some sort.
Yeah.
Especially if you can go back and review it, right? So it's like, okay, fuck, here's that mistake. We knew it was coming, damn it. But why did it happen? Got too cocky, cut too many corners, didn't give it the time and space that it required, whatever the case may be, right? Look back, okay, I can see exactly why that happened. I can make sure it won't happen again. In fact, let's go quickly run this drill 5 more times, run it over, erase that memory. All right, let's go again.
I like in team environments as well, being able to hold each other accountable, because you're that confident the team's going to work together. If it's just the individual just trying to do their own thing, it's going to be good for them to develop up in that part, but then that's got to interject back into the team. Yeah. And if the team's not holding each other accountable or celebrating the wins, losses, etc., and then working as a team together to build it back up, then it's going to be a continuous failure. So reconvene, even if it's with your mentor, with another PT that's been in the game for a while. Sit back and be like, hey, can I pick your ear for a minute and just, I've been doing this. Can you give me some advice on stuff that you've maybe come across, or something that I can learn from you that might help me with the successful path? So that's
massive, dude. And again, I know this is along the lines of what we've talked about and what I'm building and want to continue to build is PT is not a sole sport. It's not a one man or one woman sport, right? We do deliver our own business and we do our own thing, but I look at it more like, think of, if not rugby team sport, think of it more like an Olympic team sport.
Yeah.
You're the javelin, I'm the high jump, she's the swimmer, he's the boxer, they're the bobsled team, whatever. But what's the common goal? What are they all working towards?
The gold.
The most gold medals, right? They're trying to stack the most wins up and have the most successful tournament outcome, whatever. That's how I look at PTs, right? So roles of guys like us are coaches, managers, facilitators of that team environment. So PTs, listen to this. You shouldn't be trying to win this race alone. Like, you can succeed as a lone wolf in this industry for sure. Okay, I've seen it done countless times over and over and over. Of those people that are succeeding, that you would consider a lone wolf, that have done it all themselves, they are an anomaly, and I feel that they could have been done it in a lot less stressful way. But for the majority of humans that are in this industry, we are sporty people, we're social people, we like to be around things. If you're struggling and you've got nowhere to go or no one to turn to or no one to help, how does that work for you? Right? So if you've got a team, take advantage. If you're in a commercial gym with other PTs, don't look at them as competition, look at them as teammates.
Yeah.
If you're a small studio or whatever, find other small studios. People go, oh, but they're more competition. Guess what? They are if you suck. they're a colleague if you're both really fucking sensational, because you can't have everybody. You can't fit every person in your town or city into your studio or your gym. So look at it and find ways to build it, or reach out to guys like us, plug, and be part of something special where you can actually grow. You can have guys that, you know, have been there before and understand what it takes, and introduce you to other like-minded individuals that can help take you, as we spoke about probably half an hour ago in this chat now, is levels.
Yep.
First year PT, second year PT, third year PT. Guys, those scales used to be first year PT, 5-year PT, 10-year PT, because it would take you that long to achieve those skills, experiences, and knowledge. It's coming at us hard and fast. And if you're ready and open for it, you can progress. And like we talked about before we got on the call, you know, people used to say, if you're going to not go to university after school, get a trade. Yeah, you got a 4-year apprenticeship, but then after that, whoo, you're making good money. And you know, you might have spent a few $1,000s on education along the way, and a couple of $1,000s on tools and uniforms and shoveling shit and unplugging people's showers and all this sort of stuff. Or you could have spent probably a couple of grand on your certs, a year of self-discovery, of career advancement and education and all the rest of it. And then at the end of that year, and I hate saying this because it's definitely, I'm not trying to make it sound like a sales pitch like other RTOs, but after being in the industry for 12 months, executing on the basics really fucking well, a legitimate 6-figure salary, a 6-figure revenue, income, whatever business model you're under, is a viable and legitimate opportunity for you.
Yep.
Second year solidifies that and helps you make that consistently over and over and over, and then you can grow and scale from there. But I mean, it's a legitimate industry. It's only going to continue getting stronger. How it looks exactly in terms of what the future holds and the way it looks will differ for sure. For the most part, it will stay the same. I think humans love interaction with other humans in a one-on-one or a small team setting. The online is just an extra tool to assist.
Yeah.
But in terms of the value that people are putting on their health and the value that they're going to need to put on their health currently and into this future, immediate future,
agree on this.
Legitimate, genuine, ethical, give a fuck personal trainers and coaches are going to be worth significant value to the community, financial and otherwise. So if you're not upskilling, if you're not improving and sharpening your tools and figuring out really who the fuck you are and what you can deliver, you won't be around for long, and you're going to miss out on such an amazing opportunity to continue providing what we do and helping. Like, you know, imagine the feeling as a collective group of personal trainers, if we could influence the country's obesity numbers, if nothing else. We're one of the highest percentage per capita of obese humans on the planet. Imagine if, you know, over a 10-year period, we could be, hey, Australia's dropped off the fucking map on that. What's going on there? Yeah, we've got enough PTs in this country to have a significant impact in that.
Yeah.
The difference is making you, the PT, able to stick around the industry long enough to have that legitimate impact.
Yeah, and they all are making an impact, no matter how small that they think it is. It's adding to the collective of it as well. So you know, it all makes a big difference in the end. So
big time, Mark. Thanks for being on the show, my man. Where can people follow you? Where can they find out a bit more about Mark Howlett?
I've just relaunched my platform for coaching again after going through some personal stuff. So it's 511 Coaching. So Mark Howlett at 511 Coaching. That's it. So if you're into numerology and everything, if you're into the whole universal knowledge and whatnot, 511 is the numerological number for growth and development. So it's something that I've sworn myself by. So it's something that I really
511 is growth and development.
That's it.
Sweet. 51 was just violence and contact.
But yeah, 511 Coaching, and there's more content to come on that one there. So yeah, stay tuned.
Excellent, brother. Look, I'm going to get this up. I'm actually off this weekend for one of our PTs is getting married on Friday up in Tambo at Tambourine. So I'm heading up that way and then taking the girls away for the weekend. But we will get this show up ASAP. I think it's been stacked full of value. I know listeners are going to love it, and the viewers who tune in to see these heads for radio, they're going to get some good value out of that as well. So thanks for your time, man. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
keep an eye out, because I know that Mark and I are going to be doing some continued education and coaching workshops and such moving forward. So
definitely
great chance to be part of the 51511. All right, man. Thanks again.
All right. Thanks heaps. Cheers.
W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up, counting all the way up.